So we're in a video today. We're going to take a look at some battles here for the Master League Premier Classic Cup, which is going to be available in 3 hours when I basically upload this video. Interesting cup. Last time we're going to get this cup. Next time it's most likely going to be with XL Pokemon, but without legendaries for the Master League. Going to be way less accessible for most people, but for this it's still going to be without any XL Pokemon, which is going to be interesting. We're going to have a team here. They also swapped up a little bit. I think there most likely going to be one game in there where I have a Metagross against instead of the Snorlax, and I used my my Hisuian Avalugg as a Sales, which is the main Pokemon I wanted to showcase here. And this team actually worked pretty well like this, with Snorlax as a Sales, and with the Heracross in the lead. Heracross will be able to resist counter damage. Heracross will be able to destroy something like Metagross usually. So you have a lot of play against a lot of Pokemon with Heracross in general. You can use other fighters as well, but Heracross has like this counter resistance, which is really cool, as you have 2 Pokemon in the back that are weak to counter. Here we're going to have the Avalugg getting basically not actually knocked out there by the extra drill. By the way, you should throw the Drill Run. Drill Run is also super effective against it. It's not a pure Ice type anymore. It's Ice type and part Rock typing. But we will be able to go for one more Rock Blast and knock out the opponent here. It's just going to be a short video to take a look at this cup real quick and how this Pokemon is going to perform. We're going to take a look at the issues with this Pokemon as well. We have a Dragonite here. Dragonite is already one issue for this team, to be fair, because Dragonite has access to the move Superpower. So your lead going to do resisted damage with the fast move. Of course, you have Rock Blast, which is okay, but with Superpower, it's going to be a little bit tricky to take those moves on your Snorlax, on your Avalugg, all those Pokemon. Don't really like a Superpower on them, so even though you have like an Avalugg in the back there, which is an Ice type, the matchup against Dragonite is not even that good, especially if they have already some energy or a shield advantage, just because the damage that they do with the Superpower, like, you will not survive one. And this is actually one of the main issues with this Pokemon, which I also think that the Hisuian Avalugg most likely not going to be the best Pokemon that you can use for it. If you want me to showcase this Pokemon again later on when the cup is actually on, let me know in the comment section. But here right now, I feel like it's not really worth it to go ahead and invest into this Pokemon, because you're going to see a lot of times it's just not really worth using this, because you have so many weaknesses. You have weakness to counter users, you have weakness to Excadrill, you have a weakness to Superpower from Dragonite, you have a weakness to Gyarados, you have a weakness to Metagross. Basically the entire meta kinda beats you in a lot of shield scenarios, while you have pretty decent stats and pretty decent moves. Unless you get into those scenarios where you can really play out those matchups, there's not a lot that you can do here, and there's also not a lot that we can do against the opponent's Excadrill. Next opponent, we will find Togekiss in the lead. That's actually pretty horrible for this team, but still can work out. We swap immediately into the Snorlax, we get greeted by one Gyarados, and if we are able to hit 2 Body Slams here, we will be able to knock them out afterwards, because we can at least farm them down. Like, if as soon as we hit the second one, we will be fine, and we can realign. And they're going to let the second one go through, so I'm at this point of time pretty fine with the scenario. I can shield up the next move, going to be the Aqua Tail. Now we will be able to just go ahead and let the next move go through. I was just scared of the Hydro Pump that this Pokemon could have, which would do a ton of damage. Hydro Pump on Gyarados is definitely something that you can try out. It's going to be a fun one to use, because you can nuke a lot of Pokemon. Here we see a Togekiss coming in. Again, here that we already saw in the lead, and we're going to be able to do a lot of damage against them. We can go ahead and go into our Avalugg here as well, as we will be able to shield up the Ancient Power, which would be super effective. We face a Crocodile in the back. This is a fun pick there, but Crocodile gets hard-walled by the Heracross here. Heracross will be able to just completely hardwall this Pokemon. I will be able to farm them all the way down. And with the Heracross, which is the cool thing here, you're going to have access to Rock Blast, which makes this Pokemon so much better. I actually didn't expect it first when this Pokemon got the move, that this would help it really, but Rock Blast just helps us against all those flying type Pokemon that you really don't want to face here. We're going to be able to get both shields with our Heracross, and we of course have already one move stored here. We would also survive every charge move still on the Avalugg, and that's going to be a good game. Next opponent here, this opponent forgot about 2 things. First, this Memo is going to have the wrong fast move, and second, they're going to have a legendary in the back, but let's see how this is going to go. We face a Metagross in the lead here. This is fine for us. We will be able to go ahead and go for one close combat, doing a ton of damage, swapping him directly into our Snorlax, and Snorlax is such a big tank here. We'll be able to take this Earthquake for sure. I think Meteor Mesh still does more damage than Earthquake, by the way. I don't think actually throwing Earthquake does any more damage than Meteor Mash, but I'm not sure. I think that just the stab helps. Here we face that, see that they have the wrong fast move, which is kind of even not that bad for them here, because they will be able to farm me all the way down, which they wouldn't be able to do with the other move with Powder Snow, but still they're going to have to face off against my Heracross now. I'm going to be able to shield up once. They're going to have at least 2 avalanches now, I think, but we're going to face Giratina in the back, which I said as well. They didn't know that we were using the legendary, no legendary cup here, so yeah, it's still fine because Avalugg actually going to be able to do some damage against this Giratina. If you want me to showcase Avalugg in the Open Master League as well, I might do some Open Master League videos as well coming up. Let me know in the comment section as well, because this is going to be an interesting one as well for the Open Master League. It might be a little bit better for that, and I can just power that up if I want to. Yeah, hey, horsepower going to hit, but we will be able to go for one close combat and knocking them straight out. Good game here. At least we're going to see some lag install. It's just Niantic. Sometimes the game doesn't work as intended. Next up, we're going to face a Dragonite in the lead. Horrible lead again. We're going to swap out immediately into our Snorlax, and I expect them to bait me here first, because it's kind of not necessary to throw the superpower right away because I survived one. Let's see what they're going to do here. We're going to see a move coming through. The move coming through going to be the superpower, going to do some nice damage here, but we're going to see a Snorlax coming in here. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go for one superpower. They can farm us down, but it takes them a while, and we will be able to go for 2 superpowers in time. Our Switch Dog is coming up, and I kind of want to keep these Snorlax alive just in case maybe I will be able to use it as basically a shield later on. I can take 2 moves here, and I can hope that they don't have a steel type on the back, because this would be a little bit tricky. Body Slam coming through, going to do some nice damage here, but we will be able to go for one more charge move here. Also, we're going to face now the final Pokemon. I know that he always watches my videos anyway. If you want to send in some battles with Shadow Electivire, I would be very interested, because I think this Pokemon is amazing in this cup. Shadow Electivire has access to the move Ice Punch usually and Wild Charge. Here, this opponent does not run the move Ice Punch, they run Flamethrower, which is Legacy, but I don't think it's better. Even though maybe, like, how much does it do against Metagross? That's like the main question. You most likely will be able to one-shot the Excadrill though, so maybe it's actually also a cool, interesting thing with Legacy Flamethrower, but we will be able to take one move here. This is all that I'm going to give them in terms of shield, because they have some energy stored still on the Dragonite, and of course one superpower would knock us out, but a one Rock Slide will knock them out. But Electivire, Shadow Electivire, very cool Pokemon to use. Next up, we're going to see the Heracross against the Excadrill. Very decent lead for us. We will be able to go ahead and farm them basically all the way down if they want to stay in here, but let's see what's going to happen here. We're going to face off against a Rock Slide, which is okay, and we see Gyarados coming in. This will allow us to go ahead and get some damage on them already. I will be able to swap out into my own Snorlax here, and I can go ahead and go forward Body Slam. I should be able to realign at this point, which will be pretty nice. They're going to shield this move up, which is also okay for me, and I will be going for my own shield here against the Crunch, which is fine, as we face another move coming through here, but we can just let them go at this point of time. Like, we're pretty fine here. We can go for another Body Slam. We have 2 Body Slams stored now, and there's not a lot that they can really do about it. We will be able to go ahead and knock them straight out here as we face a Dragonite coming in, which is awkward, as you know already. For this team, facing a Dragonite is not really good for me, because I don't really have the best answers for it. But like this, I can still get the shield from them, which is pretty important. I can go ahead and go into my Avalugg, and Avalugg should be hopefully able to just withstand some moves. But they're actually going to go for the bait, very decent bait, and I tried to swap, but it didn't work for me, and they can go for one superpower, knocking me straight out. And we face the Excadrill now. I have to go for one Rock Blast here, otherwise they have no chance of winning this game anymore, because they were just at the move. And sadly, I don't get to my Rock Blast in time here anymore. They can farm me down in time. Was a very close game, but a very good game here as well. This was the only battle where I played something different here with the Metagross in the back, which I didn't already regretted. This was actually the first battle that I played. And we face off against a Haxorus here, all level 40 so far, but also they're going to make some, have a different Pokemon in the back that they don't really should use there. I sure went for this move either, because they can just shield up, and now I'm in a really weak spot, as they can just go ahead and go for another charge move, and they basically would knock me out with that, so I have to shield. They're gonna go ahead and actually stay in here, and I try to catch the move, I think, next. We see the Rock Blast coming through, never mind, I will be able to knock them out. But here's the main reason why I went ahead and went for Snorlax now, because If the opponent has an own Metagross, there is nothing I can do about it. Like, unless I face in the lead or I have still shield advantage against them, with my Metagross in the back, it doesn't really help me, so I wouldn't really recommend it to you. And there's going to be an extra rule now that is level 50. Like, this is not really allowed in this cup, as level 50 of course has a big advantage, but also with the wrong fast move here, still going to completely destroy us here. But yeah, level 50 Pokemon, not really the best way to take a look at this. If you want me to take a look at this Pokemon again in like later on or in the Open Master League, let me know in the comment section. Hope you enjoyed this video, hope you're hyped for the new cup, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye!